Welcome to Business on the Vine. I'm your host, Lady Jen Du Plessis, and in this dynamic series, we dive into the challenges, breakthroughs, and victories of entrepreneurs who have turned their passion into success. Welcome. Welcome to the show. I'm Lady Jen. I am so happy you took time out of your busy day to join us today. And today I'm with Penelope Jane Smith. Welcome.
Hey, Lady Jen. So happy to be here and
I know it's so exciting.
about all things entrepreneurship and money.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, we have so much in common. It's so scary. It really is. But yeah, we do different things. Isn't it interesting how we landed someplace totally differently? But let me tell everybody about you. You're a premier financial freedom mentor for women entrepreneurs and go-to experts for some of the biggest names in the conscious business industry. She's an acclaimed international speaker and certified trainer with over 20 years of teaching experience, the author of The Little Book of Prosperity, and the creator of Prosperity Coin, the world's first cryptocurrency designed to support financial freedom for women entrepreneurs, which is really, really cool. Her unique magic is supporting women entrepreneurs to become financially free in 5 years or less with 10,000 plus per month in passive income so they don't have to depend on their business, thank God, right? A job, a partner, the government, or anyone else. And she's an avid real estate investor. So we just need to throw all this stuff in, right? All of these things. And comes from a background of mortgage and real estate. I mean, she's just everywhere. I love it.
I'm
I love
everywhere.
it. You're
I don't know
everywhere.
if I'm as everywhere as you, but I would say there's very few people on the planet that have the same level of depth and breadth of experience that I do. So we can go anywhere with this conversation. I'm
Yeah,
ready.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, it's interesting you say that because everyone says you seem to have done, like for me, you seem to have done everything. And I go, no, I've told you, I promise you, I'm not a jack of all trades. I am definitely not a jack of all trades. Okay, so let's start jumping in and let's first talk about how you got here. You tell it. I'm not going to say it. Tell us a little bit about how you got where you are today, and then we'll dive into some currency and some tips that you're using now and some ways that you're investing today.
Well, I actually have a pretty dramatic financial story. I was teaching in Japan. I came back to the United States, got my real estate license, became a loan officer, and
Mhm.
then eventually started like kind of pre-underwriting or processing my own loans, and eventually went on to run that mortgage company, which was connected to a group of real estate franchises. So that was my way of like learning the business, like get paid while I learn. And my vision was to learn how to invest in real estate and run businesses and then teach other people how to, because freedom is one of my highest values. And I wanted to support other people in creating passive income and financial freedom, because that was something I had never heard about in school or at home growing up. And I was like, oh my God, people need to know this, right? So that was the vision. And I got to the point where I was like, okay, I'm ready to start my own investing, and starting with $10,000 of my own money over the next 4 years, not 40 years, 4 years, I turned that into over $6 million in real estate. And I had 35 properties all around the United States, and I was on track to be able to retire. I say to be financially free.
Right. And this was when?
Well, this was okay. So we're coming into 2008. So by the time I was 31, I was like, I'm going to be set for life. And then the global financial crisis happened in 2008, and like everything just went down like dominoes. I lost my $6 million real estate empire. I lost my own home to foreclosure. I mean, even the electricity got turned off, and I couldn't afford to get it turned back on. And all of the food in the fridge went bad. And I lived in fear that I was going to come home and find my pets trapped inside and the locks changed to my house. And Jen, I was so masochistic that I went to the foreclosure auction on my own house.
Oh my
And
gosh.
there was this, I don't know what I was thinking. There was like this little huddle of
Yeah.
real estate
Invest.
investor guys, all like
Mhm.
older white men, and they
Yeah.
were going around, and the guy announced, okay, so this one is in Benicia, and one guy nudges the other like, oh, Bob, you like Benicia, the town that it was in, and they're like, okay, so borrower's name, Penelope, and I'm like, and like that moment,
And you were like, you have my name wrong.
it just like it just hit me like I was just like, oh my God, I am losing my home.
Yeah.
Say my name right. Like I was like, it just all came crashing
Penelope.
down emotionally in that
Oh
moment,
my
you know?
God. I can't even imagine. I can't even
Yeah.
imagine. So, you were in real estate at that point, right? You were still in real estate. So how did your real estate business, how was that affected by that crunch?
I think I might have not, I think I might have stopped doing loans and real estate. I think I'd gotten out of it at that point. Like
Okay.
my passion business was, seminars and training and coaching, and that's really where like my passion was and where I wanted to go. I've always been a natural teacher and speaker, and I remember having this dream of being on stages, leading life-changing workshops, and I went and I decided to do a workshop. I was like, let me just jump off the cliff and grow my wings on the way down. And so I invited everyone I knew to this little 90-minute workshop. And I had 9 people come and they each paid $10. So I made $90 in my first workshop. And Jen, I was like, I'm living
On
my dream. I was
right.
so, so excited. I was so happy. But then I didn't really know where to go from there until I eventually found mentors in that
Right.
business. So by the time everything crashed, I had transitioned out of being in the real estate business. I was still like managing the managers of my properties and like doing my own
Right.
portfolio, but I wasn't trying to like do loans or sell houses or
Yeah.
anything
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah,
And
you were just trying to create more rev streams for yourself, beyond just the passive income. Now you had another active line, but it was a rev stream to create more passive.
it,
Yeah.
it was really about who I wanted to be in the world and what I wanted to do with myself
Yeah.
and my life purpose. Like that was the vision was I was going to learn this industry and then I was going to turn around and teach. And so I felt like I knew enough and I had enough experience at that point that I could turn around and teach. And so that's
Yeah.
the phase I was on, and my grand plan for my life is like I built
Yeah.
my empire. Now I'm going to teach other people how to do it. And then my empire crumbled in
Oh
what
my God.
felt like overnight. And here I am scrambling and scrambling to find a place to live,
Yeah.
ultimately forced to declare bankruptcy and having to start all over. And so part of the reason that I'm so passionate about what I do is because I've lived through some people's worst nightmares
Right.
financially.
Right.
I wouldn't wish that on anybody. And yet I've harvested so many lessons from the experience,
Yeah.
that one of the reasons I do this now is I want to help people in general, other women especially, avoid some of the terrible and painful mistakes that I've made so that they don't have to do that. They don't have to go through that. And then also, if you have faced challenges in your life, whether that was a divorce or the real estate crash or whatever it was, then I'm here to support you to pick yourself up and dust yourself off and rise like a phoenix from the ashes.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. So here's a question I have though. You and I talked about this when we first met, last week or whenever it was. I don't even know. It could have been this week. No. When we were talking, one of the things that we were kind of giggling about, and I've said it several times on, multiple shows that I have, is that as a mortgage lender, when I was a mortgage lender, I found it really odd that mortgage loan officers and real estate agents weren't buying property,
Yeah.
not investing in their own product. But now, having said that, here you had all this experience, you had experience as a lender, you had experience as a real estate agent, you bought all these properties. Someone who's listening to this is going to say, well, wait a minute. Maybe it is a good idea that I don't invest in property. Maybe I shouldn't invest in property because that happened. So what do you say to them? Because I heard you say, I learned all the lessons so you don't have to,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But what do you say to real estate agents, realtors, and loan officers that aren't investing in real estate?
Well, I don't think that you have to invest in real estate, but I do think that it's important to invest in something outside of your business. So whether you're a realtor, a loan officer, or
A business owner.
any
Mhm.
entrepreneur, the highest ROI you're going to get typically is investing in yourself,
Yeah,
right?
no
And in your
question.
business, like you make that hire, you get that program. It's like, when I finally found mentors in the seminar business, I invested $9,000 in a program teaching me how to lead events. And that first year I made $220,000 that was like almost completely profit. That's like you know, 2,400% ROI or something. I mean,
Right.
it's like, it's an
Right.
insane, like you can't touch that with just the stock market or even most real estate investments. And
Yeah.
yet you have to strike a balance between investing back in your business and and investing outside of your business if you ever want to be free, which of course is one of my highest values, right? That's why
Right.
we do what we do. So ultimately, you have to invest in or build or create assets that are going to continue to generate income for you, passive income or semi-passive income. Otherwise, you're always back to square one. You know, we have people who are paycheck to paycheck, but we also have people who are commission to commission. So when you're a
Yeah.
loan
Oh, no doubt. No doubt.
you're just
Yeah.
only as good as your last deal, and like now I need another listing, or now I need another loan. It's like back to square one all the time. It's like it's exhausting, even if you
Yeah.
love people and you love what you do, and even if you want to work forever. Like I said, my seminar and training business, this is my passion business, right? So
Yeah.
I have no intention of not doing it. However, what if I couldn't, right? Like my grandma was an entrepreneur. My grandma ran a gem shop. So we had like all this like rose quartz and amethyst and like crazy crystals all over the house, which is really cool. And that was fine. She enjoyed doing that until one day she was walking across the street and boom, got hit by an SUV. Now she's fighting for her life in the intensive care unit. She can't run her business,
Right.
right?
Right.
So I think
Right.
it's really important that we let go of that like myopic focus on revenue, or like how many listings you have or how many loans you have going. And it's like you have to start, siphon off some of that profit into
Right.
buying
Well,
assets. It's like growing your own version of the goose that laid the golden eggs, right?
yeah.
You want to
Yeah.
grow a big enough golden goose that you can eventually
Yeah.
live off the golden eggs. And even when you move on from this life, like why not leave that legacy in goose form to where the golden eggs can continue to nurture your
Yeah.
family or the causes you believe in or your own foundation
Yeah.
or whatever. So I just think like that's the game, and it's so important. It's like Warren Buffett said, if you don't find a way to make income, or if you don't want to find a way to make money while you sleep, you're going to work forever,
Yeah.
right?
That's
It's like
exactly it. Well, you don't want to trade time for money. I mean, there's no doubt about it.
I have no problem trading time for money in the like, if you're doing something you love and you want to get paid for it and you're
Well,
making some
yeah, because you're doing your events. Look, I do events, I do master classes too. We both do master classes. We do both do workshops and things. There's a difference there, but when you only rely on the money, one of the things we used to say, we used to work in a real estate office. We were an inside loan officer. Worst times of my life, best times and worst times. And because you live in this bubble, this glass bowl, you're like a little fish and everybody can see you in there. And but we would say it's the old real estate agent shuffle. And literally these realtors would come in and they were so old, they were 70 and 80 and 85. One person, I mean, it's ridiculous. And they can't even walk. They're like right across the room, and you can hear them all there and everything, and thinking, I don't ever want to be like that. I mean, they didn't look happy. They were ornery as can be. And it was like, if you don't like it, leave it. But they can't, right? They
yeah.
didn't set themselves up. It's interesting. So I want to hear, I was going to say something about my path, but I want to hear about your path. What was that vision that you had that said, when I get here, and this isn't once I do this, okay? Because I don't believe in this. Once I perfect my thing, then I'll talk. I'm
Yeah.
talking about, what was the vision for your trigger to know that you hit your financial freedom? Because it's that I know what financial freedom is, but I think we're going to have to explain it to everybody, and it is different for everyone. But what were some of your triggers?
Well, I think that financial freedom means different things to different people. Like for some people, it means making enough money to pay their bills. They're like, "Ooh, I can support myself. I don't have to rely on some other person. There's freedom there." And I
Yep.
absolutely believe that. And for some people, it's being out of debt. They're like, "Ooh, I'm free of debt." And I actually
Right.
see it as a spectrum of
Yeah.
there's 8
Too.
milestones along what I call the path to prosperity. So the first being cash flow positive, where you can pay your bills. Yes, there's freedom there. And then the second one, when you don't have any consumer debt that feels like a burden, like, yeah, there's freedom there. Having cash reserves for life's unexpected whatever, having like a cash cushion, there's freedom there. Like investing for retirement, owning your home sprinkler, boom, 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 all the way on up to the 8th milestone, which is mainly what I'm referring to, which is when the passive income from your assets, your investments, more than pays for your lifestyle. So now you're at choice what you want to do with your time, and you don't have to depend on your business or a partner or the
Yeah.
government or a spouse or an adult child or anyone else for money. So now
Right.
you're making choices from a place of freedom and joy instead of debt and obligation. And I have to do this to pay the bills and,
Yeah.
that kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Okay, so I know that you have, I'm going to talk about it now. I know you have an event coming up, right? So let's talk about that. We purposely did this podcast so we could get this out to everybody. So tell us a little bit about what's coming up and what you're going to be teaching, because you're singing my song. You know that, right? You're singing my song with business. I help people, move from working in and on their business so they can live above and beyond their business. And that's where you come in. It's like, okay, we're ready for beyond. What do we want to do? Right.
Yeah.
So tell us about the summit that's coming up.
So I think what you're talking about is Financial Freedom 101, which is a
Yep.
3-day online immersion event. So you can attend
Yep.
anywhere in the world.
Mhm.
And the idea is that in just 3 days, we're going to give you the money skills, tools, and systems that you need to become financially free forever. So we'll put all the money systems together in a map so you can see how they work and interact with your business. So now your business becomes a vehicle not for just generating revenue, which is great. You'll be equipped to make even more money in your business, but more importantly, a vehicle for creating wealth and financial freedom. So if you think about all the time
Right.
you spent in your formal education, your professional education, is it worth investing 3 days to really get
Yeah.
this money stuff dialed in so that you have those skills for the rest of your life? That's what that event is about, is giving
Yeah.
you the financial education you never got at home or in school growing up. And I know for me, when I was getting first my real estate license and then ultimately my broker's license, didn't teach us anything about personal finance.
No,
Like I could
nothing.
calculate.
Even in the mortgage side, they don't.
Yeah, not like how to manage your money. And this is part of why I lost my empire, which
Yeah.
circles back a little bit to, should people in real estate invest in real estate themselves? So I'm happy to talk about that. But the getting this dialed in, like I learned how to calculate 6%, because that was my commission in real estate, or 1%
That's
on
so funny.
loan.
That is so funny, Penelope, because I tell everybody all the time, the only part that finance that real estate agents know is 6% of their commission, for their
That's
commission.
it. At
But
one
it's so true.
At
Yeah.
one point, it was like how many feet are in a mile or something. That's another number. It's not finance, but it's like, I'm like, why don't they teach you like investment strategy? No one ever talked to me about that. How about how to manage cash flow? No one ever talked to me about that. And especially if you're in real estate and you are commission to commission, basically, even if you've got a nice pipeline, you have to know how to manage cash flow. I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't know that was a skill. I didn't know that was a
Right.
system.
Or
No
for your
existence
taxes,
until
right? For your taxes that will
not
be.
even not
Yeah.
even just for taxes, but
Yeah.
managing the cash
Yeah.
that's coming in and when it's going out. Like with my event
Yeah.
business, I would make $60,000 in a weekend, and then suddenly I'd need $3,000 to rent a retreat center, and I didn't have it. And I'm like, I'm making so much money. Where's it going? And like if I had understood how to manage cash flow,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I don't know if I would have been able to keep my whole real estate empire, but I think I would have been able to keep my house. I definitely would have been able to keep the electricity on. But like I just didn't know what I didn't know, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And now I'm like, "Oh my god." So like if you're in business for yourself, it's so important, especially if you have an event-based business or a commission-based business, which is just mapping out the cash that's flowing in, the cash that's flowing out, making sure you have enough to cover everything. And then, oh, if I want to invest in this program or I want to invest in this piece of real estate, you can see how it affects you. And you can be like, oh, if I do this, I'm going to be $3,000 short in 2 months instead of I need $3,000 today, right? And it's
Right.
just, I have to tell you, Jen, it's changed my life knowing how to do that. It's changed my life. And that's why I want everybody to know how to do it. And we go in deep into how to manage cash flow at Financial Freedom 101. I think we have like half a day just on that and like giving you all the systems and how to adapt it to your own behavioral style and preferences because it's a little different for everybody. But having that system, it is completely life changing.
Yeah, love it, love it. And I think it is too. I mean, it combines, you and I were talking about this. It combines a little Dave Ramsey, a little Penelope, a little Rich Dad Poor Dad, a little of this, a little of Solomon's Secrets, right? Proverbs. I'm just saying that, if you read Proverbs, you have an MBA in finance. So that's all I got to say about that. Um, I think it's really cool what you're doing. I love that you're doing that. So this 3-day event, is it just for women? I just want to get clarity for people.
Yeah, it is. We aim it to women entrepreneurs because women are so underserved by the financial planning industry.
Mhm.
And we have men, people who I don't identify as woman or man. Like you don't have to identify as a woman to attend. However, I will say 86% of financial advisors are men, most of them over 50. All of the big box financial advisor models that are supposed to be based on the average person are based on the average man. They don't
Yeah.
take into account women's longer lifespans, differences in our career paths, our financial goals. And so women end up with less money at retirement, but it has to last us longer. So that's why we focus on women, but everyone is,
Hey, if you want to learn about money, come to it, right?
yeah.
So we'll have the link in the show notes as well, so you can get signed up for that if you want to attend that. Okay, I want to switch gears just a little bit in our time that we have left. I want to talk about the business of your business.
Mhm.
Tell us how your business is structured today. What keeps it rolling and going? What's the structure that you have in place?
So when you say structure, it makes me think business model. Is that what you're thinking?
Business model. Yeah, it could be the business model. I mean, the reason I ask it this way is because I want you to answer it the way that you're receiving it. I have 5 people on my team, or, I work 4 days a week, or what I've done is I don't do any private coaching. So you tell us what because there's a lot of business owners who are listening in and saying, should I do this? Should I do that? What should I do? They want to hear what the success is of other people so that they could
Sure.
model and modify to themselves.
Yes, it's
Yeah, I know
fantastic.
you're like, yeah.
One of the things you'll learn at Financial Freedom 101, and you'll get the link in the show notes, but one of the things that we go into is your profit plan, your 3-step profit plan, and this is like for any business, you need to think about what is it that you're selling? What is your offer? We want to begin with the end in mind. The end in mind is your offer. So is it that you're going to list their house? Is it that you're going to do their loan? Is it that you're going to sell a package of coaching sessions? Is it going to be that you have a 6-month mentoring program? Is it going to be that you want to sell a bunch of coffee? Like, what are you selling? Like, what
Yeah.
is it that
Yeah.
people can buy? And it blows my mind. Sometimes people don't know. I had a client who was spending 6 grand a month in Facebook ads, and she wasn't leading to an offer. And she's like, how come I'm not making any money? I'm like, how is this not super obvious? Because you don't have anything to sell. Like, what? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. On the other hand, of course, people have offers that they don't drive any traffic to. So I've seen it on both sides, right? And so you got to start with like, how is this business going to be monetized? What is your offer, or what is your offerings? And I like starting with one like bread and butter offer or your premium offer. What's your main thing? I like to focus on optimizing one thing first. Then the next part, working backwards, is your sales system or your enrollment system. Like, how do you bring people to that offer? Is it a listing presentation? Is it going over to the house and talking about the loan they want? Is it an event? Is it a free consultation? Is it a video sales letter? Like, where does that conversation take place where they go from being curious about what you do to actually paying you?
Yeah.
That's your enrollment
Yeah.
system. And
Yeah.
then on the other end, so like reverse engineering, but it's going to be the beginning for them, is your marketing system. What are you doing to get visible in front of your potential clients and bring them into your sales system? So, how are you generating those listing appointments? Or how are you generating people coming to your event? Or how are you generating people signing up for your free consultation? So, that's what I think of as like when you have those 3 pieces, that's your business, right? That's your business model.
Yeah.
So for
Yeah.
us, if you want to model our business model, it's the best business model ever for me, because it allows us to be super generous and also support our team and make plenty of money. And so it's like win, 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 win. Like everything feels good all the way around. So our business model is on the offer side, we have a 12-month mentorship program called the Financial Freedom Accelerator. And that's where we work with people closely over 12 months to become financially free in 5 years or less. Some of them do it within the 12 months. Some of them, it might take longer, but they have the plan to get their
Yeah.
employers list. So
Framework to get
that's
it
a
done.
premium
Yeah.
program. Not everybody's going to sign up for that, and that's okay. Our enrollment system is a 3-day online event called Financial Freedom 101, which I talked to you about. And you're like, oh, wait, I don't know if I want to go in your enrollment system. Yes, you do, because what I love about this model is that the event itself is so great.
Yeah.
It's really great just on its own. You don't need to sign up for the 12-month mentorship program to get a lot out of the event. We really go through and put your whole entrepreneurial wealth blueprint together. So when people leave that event, they have all their money systems in place. And then if they want our support implementing and going beyond, okay, maybe the 12-month, but the event itself is really great. And so what that allows us to do is be super generous, get this world-class financial education out into the world. And then it also, some people will go on to that next step, right? We
Yeah.
make a little bit of money from event tickets, but these events, I mean, we're putting like $80,000-$90,000 into producing each of these events. So it's not like we're making a bunch on the events. Oh, hang on. We need to stop for a sec because they let my son in, even though I told them.
Okay. Brilliant. Brilliant. So, what would you do differently in your practice? If
Okay.
you
So
were
what I would do,
heading into this now, yeah.
yeah. If I was going back to when I was like a loan officer, realtor, even beginning of my speaking business.
Even now, yeah. Anything, anytime you want to tell us anything, anytime. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay. So if I could go back and talk to my younger self, back when I was like teaching in Japan and getting, studying for my real estate license, I would say, Penelope, open a Roth IRA, max it out every year, just auto invest in an index fund. Cause then you've got your like slow and steady wins the race money. Like,
Right, right. You have the time to allow for that. Yeah,
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 it's like so much compounding, and like when you
yeah,
start doing that in your 20s, like let's say you start when you're 25 and you go till you're 65, that's 40 years. Even if you're just putting $50 a month in,
yeah,
that's like 24 grand over 40 years. That's not that bad. It's pretty easy. But if you could get like a 15% return on your investment, you would have almost $1.6 million. So like
yeah.
really allows you to grow that
Well, and
money.
especially if your company's matching, when you're in the younger, the younger years. Okay, so
Yeah, anything you can
right,
put away, the earlier you can put money away, like the better, right? And then the next thing I would
absolutely.
tell myself is learn how to manage cash flow, because that's what I didn't know that had my whole real estate empire crumble before my eyes. So,
Yeah,
you have a certain amount coming in and going out, but like at different times. And so you need to match that out and map it out so that everything is covered and what you can invest and what you might need to hold off on and what you might need to cover a different way. And then you just have a lot of clarity and visibility around your finances. And like cash, it's like the air and blood in your business, right?
yeah.
Like almost any problem can be solved by having
With
enough cash on hand.
anything and anything in life, your health can be solved, everything can be solved in that. Okay, so take your finance hat off for a moment. And what would you tell a business owner who is, at that they moved it into the second career, because that most people are, right? It's second career. We're into the second career. They're still working on some imposter syndrome issues, because they don't feel like they know the business, but they're really good at what they do, right? And they're trying to figure out, how do I make this, make money, but take that financial hat off, because I know what you're going to say is learn cash flow. What is the number one thing they need to do to move the needle on their business? Then we'll talk, and then you're going to be talking about saving the money, right? But let's talk about moving the needle.
So in terms of shifty, like completely outside of finance, but it will ultimately impact finance,
Mm-hmm.
is when you have imposter syndrome, or when you're nervous about like, do I have the value? Can I deliver the goods? Which is how I felt when I went bankrupt, right? I'm like, oh my God, I'm a financial coach and I just went bankrupt.
And I
Who's
can't tell anybody.
who's going to listen to
Right,
me, right?
right,
Uh,
right.
who's gonna, who's going to listen to me knowing that I just went bankrupt, right? So the thing about that is when you're in that place, you're focusing on yourself. And
Mm-hmm.
shift is to focus on helping other people. So even while I was going bankrupt, like I knew a lot and I had a lot of value that I could offer to help other people, and what kind of snapped me out of my funk and feeling sorry for myself and depressed and like, oh my God, I just lost everything. Was, wow, there's other people having challenges as well. How can I help them? And even when COVID hit, I just put all this money into new AV equipment for my in-person event. And then
Right.
do it because we
Poof,
just
gone.
shut down. And I was like, oh, poor me. And then I was like, wait a sec. I remember this. Don't stay in for me. And I was like, I bet there's a lot of other people who are getting furloughed and their business is shutting down and they're having to pivot and getting sick and blah, blah. I'm like, how can I support them? So I started doing like free financial coaching and just whatever I could do to support people navigate that transition. And so I would say the more you can support, like focus on supporting other people. So who are your ideal clients? What are the problems that they're having? What do they need? How can you meet them where they're at? And the better you can solve their problems, number one, it's going to get the whole imposter syndrome out of the way, but also ultimately that will grow your business, because a business is basically you're solving people's problems for money. That's that's
Yeah,
basically.
I mean, really, you're highlighting, they have the symptoms and highlighting the pain, and making sure that they do. Yeah, and I mean, especially in this economy where we have, so much indecisiveness, for a lot of people. Some people are saying, "Hey, I may throw in the towel." Some may not. What would you tell them?
If they're deciding if they want to throw in the towel or not.
Yeah.
Well, I would say, like, if you feel called to do a certain business, if you feel called to do a certain thing, you wouldn't feel that way unless there was somebody on the other end calling you. Like, if you imagine a phone ringing, there has to be somebody dialing that number somewhere else. So if you feel called to do something, I think that's like evidence that there is somebody that wants that thing. So it's all about like, how can I show up for my people? How can I show up for my ideal clients? How can I, expand my energy more
Just
creatively to more
be there.
people?
Yeah.
Right? And so I think that, like, if you're not feeling that anymore, if you're not feeling called, if you're feeling called to something new, well, maybe that's the direction to go. And if you're like, yeah, I'm not feeling this anymore. Like when I had my first kid, there was a program I was running, and I've been running this program for a decade. It was my dream. And then another one that I had started, and I was like, wow, I am suddenly a full body no to this, you know?
Right. Right.
So, I mean, if you're like, wow, the arc is over.
Right.
I'm no longer interested in doing this. I'm no longer feeling called. Okay, great. But if you're feeling called and you're just like, I don't know how to do the marketing, or I don't know where to find the people, there are like a ton of mentors for that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think so too. And I mean, I say, keep it up. Keep it up. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure, Penelope. And we'll have the link in the notes here so that you can grab a ticket for the Financial Freedom. What is it? Financial Freedom
Financial Freedom 101.
Freedom 101. I feel like there's 3 F's in it. I don't know why, but Financial Freedom 101. And, hopefully you can be there. I'm hoping to be there. We're still working on my schedule to see if I can make it work, but, I hope that you, grab that opportunity to get there and see what you can do to change things for you. So with that, I'm going to ask you, Penelope, what would you like to leave us? A quote, a mantra, something that you'd like to leave for us?
Oh, sure. I was scrolling Facebook a while back and I saw this one of those little quote meme things, and
Yeah.
it just stopped me in my tracks. I'm like, oh, that's it. And it said, do something today that your future self will thank you for.
I
I
love
was like,
that.
oh, yes, yes, yes. And so I hope that as a result of this conversation, listening with Lady Jen and I, that you do something that your future self will thank you for. Um, if you're coming to Financial Freedom 101, I know you're going to get a lot out of that, but one way or another, thank you so much for being here, and hopefully we'll talk soon.
Awesome. Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Penelope. I look forward to seeing you really soon. And I wish you all the best of luck in your 3-day event. And I want to thank you for listening in, for taking time out of your busy day, and ask you to run on over to YouTube and subscribe to our channel. And if you have a few moments, use that thumb and scroll down to the bottom, give us a great 5-star rating, and put in a great review for Penelope and something that you learned from this podcast episode. And so until then, we will catch you on the next episode. I'm Lady Jen Du Plessis. Thank you for joining us on Business on the Vine. If you found value in today's conversation and would like additional support, go to supportfromjen.com. Remember, the best ideas are always discovered on the vine. So keep innovating, stay inspired, and continue to grow.